reputation for being able to coach people and help them really focus on what they need to focus on to be successful. Because after an event like this, after, say, a 3-day seminar, I don't know about you guys, I've been here since Thursday, I've been watching a lot of speakers, but my brain is fried. Who else's brain feels fried? And we are completely overloaded with information. So the key is to figure out what information we need to use, what we can take action on immediately. And for those of you who have already invested in continuing education programs, who's invested in a continuing education program? Good. So you want to make sure you take action on that information and apply it to grow your business. It was 2005 when I was about 4 years of virtual unemployment after being laid off after 9/11. I worked in the banking industry in the United States with a company called Merrill Lynch. And I remember, the world was my oyster at the time. I was just out of college, and I got this great job with this great company. And after 6 months, we all came to work one day, and they told 1,000 of us, sorry, you don't have a job anymore. What was funny about that was a week before that, our manager called us in and said, listen, everybody's getting laid off but you guys. Don't worry, you're safe. So after that, what I realized at the time was, to me, it was kind of like, a payday, because I was only with the company for 6 months, and I got a 1-year severance package, full pay and full benefits for a year, and I was free to pursue other employment. But what really concerned me was I made a lot of friends with people who were there for 20, 25, 30 years, and they were absolutely devastated. It was like their life was basically over. I mean, what do you do after 30 years with a company and you get laid off? So I looked. That's right, you do internet marketing. So I learned that the hard way, though, so you guys are lucky, because what I did for the next couple of years was I couldn't get a job in the finance industry. 9/11 happened, so I took sales jobs. I tried to sell cars. I tried different business opportunities, and I basically racked up about $60,000 worth of debt by 2005, and I had to declare bankruptcy. So I was at the lowest point in my life. I mean, that was really depressing. I'm not going to ask if anyone's ever declared bankruptcy, because I know it's a very personal thing, but I was at a really low point in my life, and I didn't know what to do. At the time, my dad had purchased a grocery store in Tampa, Florida, in the United States, in a really bad part of town. I mean, I had to carry, I almost got beat to death one day, and after that I had purchased a gun. In the United States, we're allowed to have guns. So I know that's in the UK, a lot of people are like, oh, you had a gun. But I had to carry a loaded pistol on me with a bullet in the chamber with the safety off, so that if any given time someone wanted to come in and kill me for the $200 that was in my cash register, I could defend my life or the lives of my employees. We ended up selling that business, and I didn't know what to do after that. So I moved back to Pennsylvania with my family, and I went to my very first internet marketing seminar. It was a seminar just like this. A lot of great speakers, a lot of great information, and a lot of great opportunities to continue my education. And one of the speakers there offered a mentoring program, and it was $5,000. And I didn't have $5,000 at the time. I was lucky enough to have a couple of credit cards that I slipped past the bankruptcy court. And I had to go to the back of the room, and I had to beg the people, please let me do a payment plan, because I don't have $5,000, but I promise I'll pay it if you just charge me. So I invested in that mentoring program, and at that point for me, it was, I have to make this work. I had my last $5,000. I invested in this mentoring program. I took action on the information, and within, that was in December 2005. By January, I had made my first $15,000 a month online, and 6 months after that, I was working online full-time, making 6 figures. So if I can do it, if I can go to a seminar, so I was in a very similar spot that you guys are in, so I just want to let you know that it can happen, and I've helped so many other people reach their dreams of online independence. So with that said, let's get started into the presentation. I ramble a lot. My style is really a stream of consciousness. I'm not a professional speaker. I really sit at home in my office all day. I just wear my jeans and my shirt, and I really don't leave the house sometimes. I live in my cave in my office. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So I already told you a little bit about me. I'm a full-time information marketer. That's the key point. I don't want to really get into technicalities, but we're all here about talking about internet marketing and making money online. But really, there is no such thing as an internet marketer. What we really want to be is information marketers, and the internet just happens to be our preferred method of marketing that information. We might get into product creation a little bit. It's not part of my seminar, but I highly recommend dealing with digital information products. That's the best product you can sell, and there's lots of reasons for that. So I'm a full-time information marketer. I work from home, or really anywhere that there's an internet connection. What's really cool is actually, for this trip to England, everyone hear of go to mypc.com? That's a really cool service. I just found out about it. So I realized so I got my laptop, and I was able to access my computer back in the States and work on my presentation and do some other things. So really anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, I can do business. So that's pretty cool. I have my own online business. I'm an information marketer, like I said, and my primary business is in teaching how to make money online and how to have success with business. I do have other niches as well. I'm in some other niches, such as credit repair, health and fitness, things like that. So I have other websites, and I'm constantly testing new things to see what works. So I kind of practice what I preach. This is the point I'm trying to make. I also partner with some of the world's top training companies. Anyone ever hear of Telman Knudsen and his company Overcome Everything? We'll talk a lot. We're going to talk a lot about Telman today because he was one of my first mentors and now one of my partners. He's a very successful online marketer in the United States, and I'll tell you his story. It's a pretty amazing story. He's done some really cool stuff. So I run his List Building Club, which is an online membership site where we teach just about everything about making money online with a focus on list building, and that's really where our focus should be. I know this is a traffic generation summit, and I'm going to give you guys some tons of ways to generate traffic, but what we're going to really talk about as well is list building, because that is the key to online success. Every successful marketer I know who makes real money online and has a real business rather than some type of income opportunity focuses on building their list. It's your number one asset in your business. I also partner with a company called Early to Rise. Early to Rise is a company founded by Michael Masterson, based out of Delray Beach, Florida. They're part of Agora Publishing. Agora Publishing is a $300 million a year online marketer. They publish financial newsletters, health newsletters, and Early to Rise is one of their divisions. They're doing some really cool stuff in the online marketing world. They recently, when Mary Ellen Tribby came on board, she grew the company from... The company was growing. It started about $2 million a year, then it went to $3 million, then $5 million and $6 million. So it was having growth. When she took over, she grew it from $8 million to $30 million in a period of 3 years. So they were doing some really cool stuff at Early to Rise. And when they wanted to start doing internet coaching and training, they brought me on to handle that for them. So I'm honored to be working with them as well. I'm also a contributing author to The Ultimate Success Secret with Dan Kennedy. Anyone hear of Dan Kennedy? I'm business success guru. So that was kind of cool. I've always wanted to have a published book, so now I did that. And I'll tell you one thing. Anyone here want to have a book published one day? They want to be an author? What's funny about that, I'll tell you, is nobody cares about that but you. I realized I finally had the book published. I had it printed. I was so excited. That was one of my biggest goals in life, was to be a published author. And I got the book, and I showed it to my mom, my friends, my family, and they all acted, oh, that's cool, they took it. But really, nobody cares but you, so don't get upset when you publish a book and nobody cares. Actually, my mom, she won't even show people the book because she's embarrassed that I talk about my bankruptcy in the book, so that's okay. After I recovered from bankruptcy and made my first $100,000 online and went out and bought a new car, because my car was repossessed during bankruptcy, so it was nice to be able to get a car loan and get a new car. I picked my mom up and I'm driving her around in my car. I said, "Mom, isn't this great? Yeah, I finally made it. I'm making money online, and I just bought a new car." And she said, "Brian, when are you going to get a real job?" So that's mom for you, right? So this is where the magic happens. This is my home office in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is my desk. You can tell I'm a Penn State grad. There's my little Nittany line there, and I don't know if you can tell this or not. Call it egomaniacal, if that's the word. See all those red books there, and all those red books there, and all those red books there. Those are all copies of my book that I just talked about. See, nobody wants the book, so I just stuffed my shelves with the book. So this is my computer, and that's my microphone, and this is really where I do all my coaching from. I do all my training. I do all my online marketing, and it's a beautiful thing. I wake up every day around 10 o'clock Eastern time. I get showered and just go into my office and surf the internet and mess around for about 8 hours and wonder why I didn't do any work all day. So that's my home office, and that's cool. That was always one of my goals, to work from home and have a home office. Anybody here want to work from home, not have the 9-to-5 grinds? One thing I can't believe, I used to do this when I worked at Merrill Lynch, was that drive to work, the commute. Absolutely horrible. I mean, you get in your car, you sit in traffic, you drive 10 miles an hour on a 65-mile-per-hour expressway just to get to work. Sometimes, every now and then, I'll make the mistake, because usually I do my banking. I'll go to the bank and do my banking like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 p.m. when everyone's in work. So there's no traffic on the roads, there's no lines, and I basically design my life around like congestion. I go to the movies during the weekdays because I hate crowds. I don't like being around crowds at movie theaters on the weekends. But every now and then, I'll make the mistake of getting myself into rush hour traffic. I get so frustrated, and I'm thinking, God, how do these people do this every day? It's crazy, isn't it? So that's cool, working from home. So that's a little bit about me. Let me tell you a little bit more about my partner, Telman Knudsen. He is the founder of a company called Overcome Everything, Inc. This is Telman pre-2008, I think. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Okay. For those of you who don't, you'll see in a second. But Telman founded a company. He founded a company called Overcome Everything. He currently employs about 15 people or so. I'm not sure. I lose track. And he started his company in a one-bedroom apartment. I remember when I first met him, I drove up from Philadelphia to New Hampshire. It's about a 5-hour ride. And I met him in his apartment, and God, it was this old stinky apartment that didn't have air conditioning. He was living with his girlfriend, his partner at the time, and he had 4 or 5 other roommates, and he had 6 cats running around. It was 2 bedrooms. It was just a real dive. Dive is I don't know if that's a UK term or not. It's a crap hole. So I visited him in his one-bedroom apartment, and he ended up earning $800,000 his first year online, doing teleseminars and using a system, which I'll share with you guys later on in the presentation. And what's cool is we were recently recognized as one of the fastest growing companies in America. We're growing to be a $10 million plus business. So here's our team at Overcome Everything. This is Telman up here in the left-hand corner. He's growing in the beard. You know, the Mountain Man guy, he's really looking crazy these days, isn't he? For those of you who know him. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, that's Kyle Battis. He's our marketing manager, one of the smartest guys I know and I've ever worked with. He handles all our joint venture relationships and just does a really great job. Can you guys on this side see when I point to the screen here? This gentleman here is Danny. He's Telman's assistant. He's a really cool guy. That's Mike Purvis. He handles all of our technology, all of our programming. He's a really fun guy to work with. Pat Marcello is down here. I work very closely with Pat. She handles a lot of the coaching and the training with me for Telman's company, and she's also a search engine optimization Web 2.0 expert, and she's a really fun girl. I think she's going to kill me if I say that. I'm going to say 50 years old just to be safe, but she's like a 20-year-old girl hanging out with her. I love Pat Marcello. This is Andrea. She handles our customer support. There's Lindsay. She's our chief financial officer. She helped pay for my trip to London, so thank you, Lindsay. And who else am I missing? Yolanda, customer support, and that's Sarah in the middle. Sarah helps with our client support as well. And there's Andrea in the top left-hand corner. Andrea does our customer support as well. So it's a really great team, really smart bunch of people to work with. What I like about Telman, what he does with his company, is that he only hires